Discussion keeps the world turning.
This is Roundtable.
Imagine AI glasses translating nearly 100 languages, a four-legged robot picking tea leaves, and a flying car, all at one expo. Well, that's the reality happening in Hainan. It's the 6th China International Consumer Products Expo that's part tech showcase, part future shopping cart, and we're going to learn all about it today. After that, greatness or cruelty? Do you really need one to get the other? For years, we've been telling ourselves that suffering is the price of being the best. But are we just tolerating abuse in the name of excellence? We're live from our studios in Beijing. This is Roundtable. I'm Steve. Thanks for being with us today. And for the show, I'm with Fei Fei and Yushan. First up. All right, picture this. You're walking through a massive expo hall in tropical Hainan. To your left, a pair of AI glasses is whispering real-time translations of 89 different languages into your ear. To your right, a four-legged robot named Lynx is trotting past. The same model, in fact, that was recently picking tea leaves on a misty mountainside in Hangzhou. Oh, and straight ahead, well, there's the flying car. A flying car. That is all on display at the 6th China International Consumer Products Expo, also called CICPE. It's part tech showcase, part cultural festival, and part glimpse into your future shopping cart. We're talking about 3,400 plus brands being represented from 60 plus countries. Also a record-breaking Canadian delegation as guest of honor, and a whole lot of new, unique, special, and cool. There is much to discuss from this year's CICPE. Fei Fei and Yushan, good afternoon to you both. So let's learn all about it. Where do we begin?
Well, let's begin with when is happening and of course, where is happening. We're talking about the 6th China International Consumer Products Expo, the CICPE, that's taking place in Haikou, right there in southern China's Hainan province from April the 13th to the 18th. And if you don't know what this expo is, it's actually China's only national level exhibition focused on consumer goods and the largest premium consumer products expo in the Asia Pacific region. So this year is also marking the first national level exhibition held in the inaugural year of the 15th five-year plan period. And yeah, it covers a lot of different products and also has a huge international influence. More than 3,400 brands from over 60 countries and regions, they are participating this year, with international exhibits accounting for over 65% of the total.
Oh, the majority of them.
Yeah, and it's growing year by year.
And also this year's CICPE is also very kind of a special because it's also the first edition of this event ever since the Hainan Free Trade Port fully launched. You know, it's a island-wide special customs operations. They're trying to leverage the advantage of hosting this expo across the entire island of Hainan and the customs clearance policies of the free trade port. So this year's event will focus on exhibiting the boutique new, unique, special, and cool consumer products. It will also feature 7 major exhibition areas. They're focusing on tech goods or on fashion or on health and wellness or on global specialties. And also they have 2 other sub-venues, one in Hainan, one in Sanya, featuring over 200 yachts, and another in Boao. That's very...
Because 100 yachts isn't impressive enough.
But that's also very interesting. You know, when we're talking about yachting in Sanya, it's also not about luxury shopping. It has other, policies that's aligning with this position of Hainan. But we'll talk about that later in the show. And another sub-venue is located in Boao's Lecheng International Medical Tourism Pilot Zone. So you can see that when it comes to health and wellness, this is the place that you want to go in Boao Lecheng.
Yeah.
The island itself, Hainan is huge, right? It's a huge island, and you've mentioned a couple of different places already, Haikou and Sanya. Those are two different cities on the island.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So for Haikou is in the capital city of Hainan. It's located probably on the northern part of the island, while Sanya is on the southern part of the island.
How far from one tip to the other if you're, I don't know, driving or something like that?
If by high-speed rail, I think it's about 1 hour away from each
so
other.
it's convenient to get all around the island.
Yes, and the whole island is connected by high-speed rail.
Yeah,
so it's
and
very convenient.
Also, via this expo, there are multiple tourism channels that's combining the expo in Haikou with all the different resorts that Fei Fei just mentioned. You kind of combine one with the other, which means that the transportation needs to be made convenient for people to attend one than the other one. And speaking of who is attending, we have many new friends and, of course, old friends. There are 12 countries and regions, including Switzerland, the Czech Republic, and Ireland, are organizing official delegations to come to Haikou. And while countries including Russia and Bulgaria are setting up national pavilions for the first time. If you've never been to expos or events like this, a national pavilion is a little stage for them to showcase the best that they bring from their country, and it's very iconic.
Yeah, it's an expo is kind of a cool thing to attend because when we say booth, it's kind of a misnomer. A booth gives you
like small table,
like job fair or something. Like there's like 3 Irish guys standing at a table or something. No, it's not like that. It's far more impressive than that. And I've been to an expo before, an international expo, and some of the they're kind of designed in a way that you walk into the place.
Yeah.
From the outside, and you get in there, and then whatever it is that they have on display, they have on display. Canada, I think I mentioned in the opening, it's an important year for Canada. They will be the guest of honor at this year's CICPE, and it's pretty cool because this is the first non-European country to do so. So well done there. They're going to have a 400-meter squared pavilion, which is pretty big, right? They'll have 40 different Canadian companies represented there, and this is the largest ever delegation at the expo for Canada.
Yeah,
so
Canada has
a little proud of that.
Canada has been joining the CICPE for many years, I think ever since the beginning, but this year is really a main stage for them.
Yeah, now this is interesting because I didn't know that Canada is known for its cuisine. Being Canadian.
That sounds like a complaint.
Yeah, well, this is maybe. But there's going to be a lot of different products on display, cosmetics and agricultural products from Canada, health products, all of those types of things. But there are a variety of special events that will be held, such as Taste of Canada, Canadian Culinary Festival. So I'm curious to know what would be on display or available to eat there.
Maple syrup, biscuit, maple
everybody
syrup,
knows
pancake.
about lobsters, maybe
Maple
from Nova
syrup,
Scotia,
lollipop.
where I'm from. Maybe some poutine from Quebec, which is very good. So they'll have that. Also, the very well-known Canadian sportswear and lifestyle brand Lululemon. They're going to have an outdoor yoga experience during the event there. So lots of different Canadian stuff. Canadiana, is that a word? Will be on display.
Yeah.
So lots of countries, very big event, lots to do happening in many parts of the island. And this one, the 6th one, is going to be special too because it will be the 2026 Shopping in China Technology Empowering Consumption event. This is something cool that's happening too.
Yeah, the Shopping in China campaign it has been around for a few years. It's a specific initiative under the Chinese government's action plan to boost consumption. And it's meant to really build a more convenient and friendly environment to invite people outside of China to come, to travel, to shop, and to have a good time and share their experiences in China. So this year, here, aligning with the CICPE, this whole campaign, Shopping in China, is centering on key issues of technological-driven consumption or other shared focus for both multinational corporations and Chinese brand to really get things work and make things easier for people to come and shop here. And the expo also facilitates in-depth dialogues between multinational companies. And that's something really good too because the purpose of expos of such, on the one hand, is to encourage trade for people to come and actually sign on deals. And in the meantime, it helps facilitate talks between people from and also companies from all different countries around the globe. And yeah, additionally, this year's expo is unveiling a promotional video and theme song for shopping in China too. I think that's really enhancing this brand recognition and influence for this whole campaign.
There's a music video for it by the sounds of things. Cool. All right, so we've heard many times when we talk about expos that there's a lot of wow that happens there, and this expo is no different. There's a lot of cool stuff on display. What are we talking about? What are some of the highlights there?
Well, I think AI glasses would be one on the top of the list of which you are going to check out at the expo, because this year is also dubbed the year of AI glasses. So a number of brands, not only just Huawei, that, you know, brands that we're all quite familiar with, other brands like iFlyTech and Rocket, they're also launching their own AI glasses. And what's really cool is that, for example, there is one model type that are offering translation of over 260 languages. I don't know if we have so many languages in the world. And also what it does is also that the glasses can sort of clone your voices, so that sounds like you are speaking in a foreign language, taking advantage of this AI glasses.
When it's translating what you say
in your tone, in your voice.
It says it like it's you saying it.
Right.
Oh, that's pretty terrifying and cool at the same time.
Sort of.
Yeah. Health services, health centers are represented too. Taishin Sports is launching a one-stop platform that combines sports technology with AI health testing to bring professional-grade wellness into daily urban life. For example, they have a bicycle product lineup that includes professional racing road bikes. Those are always the most expensive ones, right? Those are designed for competitive scenarios. They also have track bikes that serve national teams in Olympic preparation. They also have full suspension mountain bikes and urban commuters catering to the mass cycling population and different types of consumer needs. So lots of different scenarios there, all different types of bikes. That's one of the things that stood out to me. You've got the really expensive high-end stuff that the pro athletes would use, but you've also got the city commuter bikes that everyone can use, which again proves the point that these types of expos are for businesses, they're for countries, they're for delegations, but they're also for individuals as well.
Yeah, exactly. And also speaking of health and wellness, which I think is one of the key positioning when we're talking about the island of Hainan, it is the place where you can not only get the tropical experiences, but also the place that you can follow, I think, what they call medical tourism routes. For example, in their sub-venue in Bo'ao Lecheng that we just talked about, they are particularly very famous when it comes to their high-end medical treatment, meaning that in that specific areas, you can get access to a lot of really high-end biomedical frontier technologies that hasn't been approved in China, across China, but they are able to start to trialing that, and consumers can get access to these kind of really frontier high-end technologies and medical equipment and also other products.
And that's not just an expo thing, that's an ongoing thing.
Yes, that's an ongoing thing. And I think this Bo'ao Lecheng experiment zone, special medical zone, that's what they call it, are also taking the stage of the CICPE is sort of to publicizing itself to the world, that especially to medical companies out there, that this is the place that you probably can have the first access to the Chinese market.
Wow. In the past, when we think about mountainous areas in Switzerland, people think about luxurious skiing experiences. And then in the future, perhaps when people think about the southern Chinese Bo'ao, city of Bo'ao in Hainan, then it's all about getting the wellness and the healing process.
It's the perfect place to do it.
Yeah.
A beautiful tropical island.
Right.
Culture is represented too, and I think that's a really cool experience that people can take part in at the expo. There's a team from Hainan Normal University that's going to unveil a mobile, intangible cultural heritage experience device that is focused on digitally preserving Hainan's local culture. How does that work? Because when we think about preserving cultures, we don't think about VR headsets per se.
Yeah, this is something that really brings the view and the experience inside your visual kind of system in your brain. We're talking about using VR and in the sense that it let visitors simulate building a traditional Li ethnic group's boat-shaped house. So the Li ethnic group is a ethnic group among all the other groups in China that's very specific and located local in southern China's Hainan. So there you see this particular culture showing their lifestyle, such as their boat-shaped house, and also explore their style of village lives in this tropical rainforest setting and all that. It also includes interactive digital experiences like rattan weaving and coconut carving and all that, something that you don't really see outside of Hainan, outside of that particular village we're talking about.
I haven't done any coconut carving in Beijing.
There's a reason.
We don't have coconuts.
There's a reason.
Yep. So yeah, that's something that's really niche, and it's nice that universities are working on such mobile devices, and I do believe it has a huge potential, especially when it comes to education for kids to learn about local culture.
So that's representing the old, quote-unquote old, if you will, but the new is represented pretty widespread at the expo. Tell me about the flying car. I was watching a video this morning about that.
It's really, really cool. It's also called itself as land aircraft carrier. So it's shaped like a normal car that you would see on the streets, which is a bit bigger than that. I think it's more like a van, an electric van.
It kind of looks like that Tesla truck.
A little bit.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
It kind of looks like a robot from the future, but it's a vehicle. But then in the back, it opens up.
Yeah, and then a drone flying out.
But it's not just a drone.
But like people can sit in there and
it's an airplane.
Yeah, basically airplane that can, carry people. I think the maximum is 2 people to some other places based on the car. So it's really like a sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
This promotion.
Have you seen that one, Yushan?
Not yet.
The back of the vehicle opens up like, I don't know, it opens up in different, like, from the top and then from the sides, because inside the trunk of the vehicle is an airplane kind of drone thing.
Oh, so it's not really a flying car.
The
It's
whole
like you
thing
can...
doesn't fly. Not this particular example.
Right.
But yeah, so then it comes out and then you get in it and off you go.
That's like a 3-dimensional transportation idea that only have been previously seen in sci-fi movies.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Really cool.
And now I think it's sort of tapping into that low altitude economy that we keeps talking about on the show, is that maybe in practice it can be used in logistics, in transporting not only goods but also people. I think other companies are also trialing out their own version of the low altitude products. For example, we have a logistic company that present intelligent logistics drones and customized services. So it can empowering global consumer circulation through this kind of smart technology in this sector. So you can see that these kind of brands, they are tapping into this, what Yushan mentioned, 3-dimensional transportation and very efficient logistics in the country.
Green energy is one of the big themes this year as well. They call it Green CICPE, and the Expo is a model of sustainability in that It achieved 100% green electricity and an 85% green construction rate in public areas. Really, really well done there. What are some of the other initiatives they're pushing for?
There's also a major push for bamboo as a plastic substitute. So inside the venue, I kind of saw in their intro that there's a lot of places for you to dine in. There are fast food restaurant and also chain restaurant and just unique experience spots too. So there, you can just imagine how the tablewares are served and everything. So this is a major push to help kind of cope with that by replacing plastic utilization with bamboo, including an international theme event that's just on that. And also the launch of high-tech bamboo materials and lifestyle products. So in the future, we'll be rubbing bamboo from pandas.
Well, I've seen...
That took a dark turn.
Let's hope not. But the potential bamboo is very high because right now I think we have manufacturers been experimenting, for example, making bicycles with bamboo or skateboards with bamboo. So it's
guitar
and
bamboo.
And even I think in some manufacturing equipment that's normally being made by plastics. So we are probably looking into another future that bamboo can play a bigger role than what we think right now, like only as probably a bamboo straw or a bamboo, bowl is bigger than that, actually. And also speaking of the green part that Steve talked about, I think it's very interesting that, for example, in the sub-venue in Sanya, when they're, showcasing a lot of yachts, they are also having a new energy yacht zone. They're showcasing electric and even hydrogen-powered vessels. So when we're talking about yachting in the future, it's also no longer be just a very fossil-fueled, energy-intensive sector anymore. We probably can go into a greener future when it comes to yachting as well.
No more gas leaking into the water.
Yes,
hopefully.
which is bad for the fishies in the water, right? All right, so let's talk about the business side of things because we've heard a lot about it in the news that Hainan is a free trade port. How is that, if at all, how is it playing out at the Expo?
Well, this year is really marking that the policies that's being applied locally is the growth engine that's kind of pushing everything to happen. Because, we've mentioned earlier that this is a landmark year for the CICP in Hainan too, because it's the first national level expo since Hainan transitioned to its official island-wide customs closure since late 2025.
I was just about to say that wasn't that long ago.
It
was just
that
months
long
ago.
Yeah. And also it's a huge demonstration, meaning that Hainan is doing its own transfer to even open it up even bigger with policy express sessions and also consultation desks set up to help businesses to navigate the unique benefits they can get. One very interesting story that I learned recently is how they're utilizing the processing value added plus the zero tariff import that we've talked about before. So one example would be the Hainan Pearl, which is an exhibitor of this year's expo. They are leveraging the free trade ports already applying zero tariff import plus what I mentioned earlier, the value added processing and domestic sales tariff exemption policy. That's something to really make a difference for them, that they've managed to significantly lower costs while building a full industry chain right here in Hainan. They have each step of the business kind of catered to already for dealing business. Now that's just one example from inside China. There's also, I remember reading about coffee brands from Thailand. Also,
yes, we talked about that on Roundtable.
Borrowing this advantage from Hainan and utilizing that whole chain of service there. So it's like a combination of all different kinds of policies, not only the zero tariff import, but much more.
Yeah, exactly. And also I think for rather individual consumers, Hainan is also a place that you can go because they have a lot of duty-free policies. So this expo, they've also involved into a 2026 boutique consumption month, which isn't just about shopping at the expo, because for individual visitors, you can actually go into this expo and shop yourself.
That's the best part.
Yeah, that's the best part. And also they give out a lot of free gifts, free samples and
Right.
souvenirs, which is also very popular among these individual visitors.
Yeah, so it's like if you're going there on vacation and you happen to be there during that time, then you just visit the expo and do some of your shopping there.
Yeah, but now I think the Hainan is trying to take advantage of this expo, taking the stage of it, and fuse together shopping, tourism, sports, and art. So they are bridging the gap between visiting an exhibit and going on a vacation by integrating everything from shopping at the duty-free shops to major cultural performances like what Yushan introduced about the Li ethnic cultures and their own very specific local culture when it comes to carving a coconut.
They've got other events going on too at the same time. They're hosting the Honor of Kings Spring Finals. Have you ever played Honor of Kings before?
Not really, but it's such a big multiplayer online battle arena video game that kind of everybody else is playing.
Yeah, they're doing that. They're doing some international cycling races. They're having pickleball invitationals, which is fun too. That's a growing sport. So what they're trying to do is create this flow, if you will, of people that will translate directly into tourism revenue. And I think that's going to be a successful attempt. All right. Well, what about the exhibitors themselves? They're coming from many different countries. We talked about a few of them, but are they using the expo? How are they using the expo to launch their own brands or connect with Chinese consumers, get their name out there?
Yeah, I think that's the primary goal for a lot of international brands out there. By going to this expo is like to have access to the Chinese market, to get to know the Chinese consumers really closely. So, for example, we are seeing countries like what Yushan mentioned, Russia and Bulgaria, they are joining, setting up their own national pavilion for the first time. And they're showcasing everything from, for example, amber from Russia, healthy foods, to Bulgaria's very, very famous rose-based skincare.
Yeah.
So in Bulgaria's national pavilion, they feature a lot of, for example, handmade soaps, rose water, rose face cream, lip balms, and shampoos.
I didn't know about this.
Yeah, so basically you can try them out. And this more than that, these kind of skincare and beauty products are already exported to a number of countries out there. And I think it's only one example when they're trying to tapping into the Chinese market. And also when it comes to the Canadian brands out there, I think the reason that they're setting up the culinary festival maybe is because, Canadian food is not very, popular among Chinese consumers, and by
It's
setting
not very
up,
popular among Canadian consumers either.
so it's a chance to get to know,
I'm kidding, kind of.
yeah, but it's the place you get to know what the country will put out.
That's what I just said. When I said, rose skincare, I didn't know about that. I think that's one of the great things about expos like this too, is that's going to be the response for a lot of the visitors there is, I didn't know about Canadian cuisine. I didn't know about Bulgaria's face care or skincare products that are so well known in many other countries. So yeah, it's definitely a worthwhile venture for the people who set up their booths there. It's a whole lot of fun for the visitors. You've been to an international expo before?
Yeah, a number of. It is a place where you can get your hands on to try a lot of the really high end products that haven't been launched on the market yet.
Yeah.
For example, the flying car we talked about.
Yes, exactly. So many cool things to see, so many yummy things to eat. Culturally speaking, so much to learn and know about when you're visiting there. If you've never been before to an international expo, I would highly recommend it. I'll just say this. it is a lot more fun than you think it is. Because when we
Yeah,
say
true.
Expo, it sounds very official, and no, it's kind of like a little international party of sorts.
And talk to the exhibitors, talk to the brands, and see, especially when it comes to international ones, see what they're really proud of their own country's products, and learn about what stories they're trying to present to the Chinese market. Because they value Chinese market. We really appreciate that. But it's also important that we learn about other countries' pride products in the meantime.
Yeah.